4, 3, 2, 1.
Graphics away. 20 seconds.
20 seconds to camera.
15 seconds to add. 10.
Camera in 10 seconds.
5.
Camera in 4,
3.
2,
1.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Ready Take Live. I'm one of your hosts, Aubrey Russell, here at LiveX, and we're happy to see you. Today we've got a great show lined up, what to expect when you're expecting to stream. I'm joined, as usual, by our favorite audio engineer, Nick Nagurka.
Hello, everyone.
How's your week been so far, Nick?
It's been pretty solid so far. Keeping busy. Very, very busy.
Good. And just as last week, we have another Nick, not Nick Walsh, Nick McCosey, joining us on graphics.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
Yeah, great to have you again, Nick.
Thanks for having me here, Ops.
Repping the LiveX shirt.
Gotta love the brand.
Such a good VP of engagement. Cool. So without any further ado, let's get right into our first segment. What's going on? Roll the graphic. Cool. Awesome. Great start, guys. What a fun
Thanks.
live show. I feel like we were all holding our breath in that first 10 seconds, and I don't know why, so just disperse that air a bit. So yeah, what's going on? Our usual segment, we talk about what we've seen recently in the news. So I just want to touch on to start with. So Capital, a brand in the UK, recently streamed for the first time their Jingle Bell Ball on social media. So this event's going on for a couple of years, obviously. But it has not been live in the US for sure. I'm not sure. I cannot speak to its status in England, if it's on one of their local channels. But in the US, they did live stream it, which is exciting. And I think it's just a good example of the fact that there are a lot of things, a lot of large events. I mean, it's at the O2, a lot of large events that are still not available on live stream. And the whole reason that Capital said they wanted to do it is they know that it's such a great experience for the people who are able to attend, and they wanted to share that with everyone else. So just another big event finally stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, it's just another reminder for me, Aubrey, that there are just so many events that still haven't been live streaming and can gain a lot and connect a lot more with people when they stream more. So every time I think of like, where do we go? There's so many. There's so much ahead of us. There's so many events to stream.
Completely agreed. I know Nick Nagurka wanted to talk about ZaxCom.
Yes. So coming into the field of professional sports and the capturing of audio on the field, ZaxCom has released their ZMT3 Flex transmitter, which is their ZMT3 transmitter with encased in a silicone enclosure, which true to its namesake, flexes when pressure is applied. So we're really excited about that. I think it'll be really great for some of our fitness clients to try out. It has one microdot connector on the side for DPA microphones with microdot connectors, enabling a very nice little waterproof connector with a lot of strain relief, and it's not very obtrusive, which is really, really, really nice, because a lot of the times when we're using wireless microphones in fitness or sports, that connector is a lever and often is the point of failure. So excited to try that out. I've seen also that there's a gentleman at Jetwave Wireless in New Jersey that modifies WYZICOM transmitters to also have the same connector. So maybe we'll do a shootout.
Neighbors. That reminds me, when you say the silicon thing, that reminds me of they're not G drives. What's the hard drive company that has the orange?
Oh, the LaCie Rugged?
Yeah, LaCie, yeah. That reminds me of, does it look similar to that? Is it like wrapped around the sides? Or
No, it's not. It's like fully enclosed, and I think it's waterproof as well. Very, very similar to the Quantum 5X player mic, like strikingly similar in design. But this offers a little bit more of a DPA-specific solution, and it's a little bit lower profile. So, yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. McCose, you want to chat about the NHK launch?
Oh, yeah. So NHK is launching 8K movies on their network in Japan, obviously. The thing that's interesting about that is there just aren't that many pieces of content that you can enjoy that kind of resolution on. The TVs are out, that's easy, but the assets that you can play on that, as well as the infrastructure you can play that you can get it through, is hard to find. So I don't know when. I would love to hear from people like what they know about 8K coming to the U.S., but it'd be kind of cool just to see what that quality is like. They're launching with a selection of movies, including 2001: A Space Odyssey, which they shot in 70 millimeter, and so they're reshooting that to capture in 8K, which is going to be awesome. And maybe they'll do stuff like Lawrence of Arabia. It might be really awesome to see those things, those classics in 8K in a digital form. But yeah, it just makes me jealous. It makes me either want to go be in Japan or like chomp at the bit, and like I really want to know when can we see that kind of stuff here.
Yeah. So I don't know if we saw this online or not. Is there a specific like theater that they're allowing this to be played at? Like, how do you view it? Do we know?
I mean, I think it's on the service, the NHK, on
their service, but like, yeah, but yeah.
So you just like you can get 4K. Like DirecTV's right now pushing that they have the best sport, the most number of sports, or they have more sports in 4K than anybody else. I'm a customer of a different provider who's terrible. Their resolution's horrible and it's super blocky, and I'm not going to say who it is, but I'm sure people can guess. And it's really frustrating because I'll watch stuff that's, in HD, and it looks, even in HD, it looks horrible. And I'm like, why? I don't understand why are we putting up with this? Japan's got 8K. Why does my 1080 look like this? So yeah, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
A little jealous myself.
My TV is not 8K though, so I couldn't watch it.
I mean, I think it'd be easier to find an 8K TV than it would be to actually deliver the content to your own home. It's like everybody's got 4K TVs now, but you can barely get 4K baseband video.
Yeah.
Daryl, I hope I said your name correctly on YouTube.
Daryl, I talked to him yesterday.
It's Daryl.
Hi,
so
Daryl.
sorry. Hey,
Hi,
Daryl. He said, didn't they do that through Sony? Are you talking about the NHK stuff? That makes sense. That it would be through Sony in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I believe that. Cool. Nagurka, you found out that Fox did something sneaky recently?
Yeah, right under our noses. While we were at the U.S. Open of Golf in 2018, so was Fox's development wing, who are called, let me just make sure that I get this right, Fox Innovation Lab was at the U.S. Open this year, testing 5G technology with a bunch of wireless carriers there to transmit video over bonded cellular. And they were using it to get latency as low as 10 milliseconds for 4K IP transport over 5G. So they're seeing this as a really great use case for doing live shots in golf wirelessly without dropping a bunch of fiber and without investing heavily in 4K wireless systems for their cameras. So I found that to be really, really interesting. Obviously, they weren't using public service, but to do 4K, you need 68 megabits a second for what they are looking for. So they were able to put together 300 megabit per second links. So that was at Shinnecock Hills for the 118th U.S. Open, and so I'm really excited to see what comes next for bonded cellular IP transport.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I mean, at the same time, we were out there using, Teradek Bond backpacks, which worked quite well. And so it's funny to see that, like, kind of people we're all independently on the same tip for, especially for golf, because it's like you're dropping miles of fiber, and backpacks work.
Yeah.
What you got?
Cool. No, I think it's cool. I think it's cool they did it. I think it's smart that they didn't tell anyone they were doing it. Just like, we test stuff in the field on jobs that But they went live with it, right? Or was this just a ghost
I think
test?
it was just like just testing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So hoping to use it next year then, apparently.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Well, maybe they will. Or maybe 5G will be so clogged at that point that they won't. Also, 5G had a fail in Maui a couple days ago. So
Oh, well,
I'm like,
nothing's perfect.
You know, it's like when Apple sends out the newest iOS update. You just wait a couple months. And you
Of
just
course.
let everyone else get all the bad stuff worked out.
Yep.
And then we'll join in.
Uh.
That's good. Just kidding. We'll be on top of everything right from the beginning. I just wanted to chat for a quick second about Facebook Live streaming now adding a shopping feature. So they announced this like a year ago. And actually, this is a great cartoon that Wired had about in an article in 2017 since they had announced shopping. But it was not active until about a week ago, and it's only in Thailand. So if anyone's going to Thailand in the near future, you got to let us know because I want to see how that feature works. You got to take some nice screen grab video and send it over to us. I'm sure hopefully it'll be available in the US soon. But yeah, just live shopping on Facebook. I know that that's obviously Instagram allows you to then like they'll tag companies and things and you can buy things live in there. Facebook, the way they're doing it with the video is you can then select the pop-up and then you have to message the seller and then you can buy it. So to me, that's a couple more steps than I'd actually want to take. And I think I would definitely drop out before it came to actually purchasing the video. I don't know about you guys. Or video,
Yeah,
the product.
Yeah, that's a lot of hoops to jump through. I mean, the vision is we've seen for years and years what the vision would be, and so seamless and like, oh, there it is, boop, now it's in my shopping cart, and it already knows. Yeah, I'm good. I bought it. That's awesome. But it does make sense that you have to be methodical and get the user. It's like any other technology. You have to kind of wait for the psychology of the human personality to deal with some of the speed that the technology already has. So you, even though you could be super lightning fast in one step, that's people just can't handle that. So, I mean, I get it. I also not sure. Like, it's hard for me to imagine doing a ton of buying stuff online from videos I want. But I know a bunch of people. I know some people in this office who would be like, "Oh, I see that video. Oh, I want that product now. Buy!" And I can see them just like right now. You know what I'm talking about?
I mean, we'll get emails about products and people are buying it within moments.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, no, so that's the thing. It's just the future is now, but not yet.
True.
It's a great
But-
tagline,
The future is now, but not yet.
but not yet.
Future episode.
Yeah.
Now, but not yet. Cool. Well, let's jump right into our main segment for the day. Ready takes. Oh, that was a fail on me. Can we do it again?
Yeah, okay.
Do it
Ready?
again. Ready takes. Cool. So in our Ready Take segment today, we're going to get straight to what our title is. So what to expect when you're expecting to stream. I am on a couple of the live streaming Facebook groups, which shout out to those Facebook groups. It's a great place to ask questions, to answer questions, to source materials, to source gear, anything like that. I love those communities that have been built. But I recently saw a comment where a gentleman was asking about how to start live streaming. He knew that his comment was specifically, I want to start live streaming. What are the things that I need? And then I think now it's up to about 40 or 50 comments, not of conversations, but of other individual professionals on the group asking scope, basically. People are throwing out like one or two of their favorite things. I chimed in, one or two of my favorite things. And then like, what's the ultimate product that you're trying to put out? So I think this is it's a heavy question for people. They want to start live streaming, but they don't know how. They want to take it beyond their phone, but they don't know what's the first step to take. So I want today's episode to really kind of dive in, not on a cost basis, because obviously scope on a scale of money is very different for all different people. But the idea is you need the same building blocks to get to the product that you want. So I'll start the conversation. To me, I think one of the biggest things and please ask questions. Please comment what you think is the most important thing to start out with when wanting to live stream. And we'd love to chat with you about it live on the show. So to me, I'll start it with what is the purpose? Why are you streaming and why are you going live? What do you guys think?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. For me, the most important thing is why and what are your goals? What are you trying to do? So If you're trying to just get reach, just get new engagement, get new people involved, understand your brand, know, or are you releasing something and you want to sell records or sell a product, or do you need to? Are you obligated? Like, sometimes it's like a legal thing where you actually have to disclose certain things. So, a lot of different parameters can take different places in the priority list. So you have to really understand what is the reason for the stream. What are you trying to do? So that's always the number one thing for me.
Yeah, cool. I completely agree. And Dan on Facebook just asked what groups we'd recommend. I am on both World of Live Streaming and Live Streaming World. Those are two different groups. There's also vMix groups that are available. vMix is a software switcher and encoder that we like to use a lot. What about you guys? Do you guys have other groups that you are a part of?
I'm not on any Facebook live streaming groups, but I am a member of a couple of Reddit or subreddits for video engineering and broadcast engineering, r/video engineering and r/broadcast engineering on occasion.
Yeah, I'm the classic lurker failer. I just like run around everywhere. I don't actually. I'm only a member of a few groups, but I'm just always looking everywhere. So I spend a lot more time just googling and finding things rather than kind of perusing. So it's something actually I'm working on. I want to actually be a member of more of the focus groups so that I can find that filtered stuff coming to me rather than always looking. It's just kind of a way of being aware of things that's not always like, what's my problem? I have to go find the answer. It's more like, what's coming to me today? So that's kind of why I want to join up a few more. So any suggestions you guys have for me, let me know.
Yeah, we're getting some great comments with other groups too, so I can't wait to go and try to get in on those as well.
And those groups are a really, really great way to like develop a hive mind of knowledge, accumulated knowledge over time. And, we don't all have to be competitive all the time. It really helps when we share our findings. And, I'm a member of a Dante users group, which has been massively helpful.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's great. I mean, the live streaming world is not very big. Not the live streaming world group. The world of live streaming is also World of Live Streaming is also
the universe
but
that is
the actual people who live stream, which will be the group I then make. Just kidding. But the professionals who live stream, that community is not large. It's relatively manageable, and I think that the more people you can meet in that group and the more that we can have conversations like this and the more that you guys want to engage in comments and everything, that's how we grow as a community and as a service to people, is we're all making each other better. So, yeah. What's the next things that you guys think are important when someone's wanting to live stream?
I would ask, how do you want your show to look? And what are your priorities within that?
Yeah, for sure. I was gonna say camera and lighting look in general is next for me, because I think in most cases the kind of workflow decisions that we make are based on, we don't ask people like what switcher they want us to use. We use a bunch of them, but we use the right one for the job depending on what's going on, So, but they may want, hey, I want a really I want a film look, or I want something that really looks crisp, and you're just adjusting your camera choices, your lensing, your frame rate, all that kind of stuff. All that workflow stuff follows what the goals are and what the creative direction is. So that creative direction is the next, if they have a sense of what do they want it to look like.
Right, and that defines everything in the audio realm too. It's like if somebody wants to do a live stream that's also a podcast, we're probably going to put down some type of a radio oriented microphone, and they'll be comfortable with seeing that because that's their intent. Their intent is to make a podcast that is also a webcast. Or, it's like we're not going to put sportscaster headsets on people inside of a studio because that just
that's a
wouldn't
really
be
good
quite
example.
the look,
It's a really good example. And the other thing I was going to say is a lot of the context drives what the questions would be or what we're looking for next. So, like if it's a corporate type of environment, type of event, then I'm going to expect they're probably going to want to put slides or something up on screen somewhere. If that hasn't come up already, I'm going to ask those questions about what are we going to do for in-room display. And then if it's like more of a brand activation, then we may ask like for us at least, what are we doing for visual display or experiential level display, which is not really necessarily about the stream, but it's about the event overall, the experience.
Yeah, we have a specific question on YouTube asking what are our preferable encoders for live streaming. I know that I can say for this show, we are streaming, if you're watching on YouTube, you're watching in 4K via an Elemental, AWS Elemental. And if you're watching on Facebook, then you are watching via a Wowza Clearcaster. And if you're watching on Instagram, we're not going to tell you. Because it's
Using LiveX.
Welcome to LiveX. You want to find out? You can come. We'll do it for you. But yes, I know that for 4K, obviously we recommend Elemental a lot. We'll also use T-Rex, Teradek T-Rex. Yeah. Any other ones you guys want to add to that list?
Well, that's another one of those questions that is it's so application specific. You know, it's like, yeah, for Facebook, yeah, Clearcaster kills it. But if you want to go to multiple platforms, then T-Rex, you know, it's so application specific. But we're lucky enough to have a plethora of options available to us.
Yeah, and I think that's like one of the reasons that we wanted to do this episode too, is that, yeah, it's very platform specific. So you have to go back to why are you doing this and who is your audience and what do you want your show to look like? And then you can build from there, and then we can talk about the gear that you need to get based on the budget that you have and all of those little things that then fall into place. Obviously, we love gear and we'd love to start with gear for everything. But at some point, you have to know the root of your show before you can build your tree, you know?
The other thing is, Steve just had asked if it's off topic, but do you have clients that think the live stream is going to discourage people from coming to the event? And of course, we know there's evidence that is not the case. That live streaming, if anything, just helps. It doesn't discourage anybody who's not coming to the event. Anybody who's not already coming to the event, they're not going to say, well, or if they're coming to the event, they're coming to the event, and whether or not it's streaming isn't going to change that. So what all you're doing is growing your overall audience when you stream. And there are metrics for that. There is evidence for that. So yes, clients still every once in a while will have some concern, but it's definitely something that is like, that's old thinking, and there are metrics that you can show people that prove that it's not the case.
I also, to your point, believe that that's one of the benefits of not doing, not just taking what's going on the television to go to the live stream as well, and to offer it as a second screen experience, and to offer it as something that is very specific to the stream that you wouldn't get on television, because there aren't the same rules or the same audience that's going to tune in. So it's not necessarily going to pull people away from your television numbers either. It's only going to add to it.
Yeah. So Steve, thank you for chiming in with that question. Appreciate it. Yeah, and I'm a I love second screen experiences all the time. So whenever you can add, like if I'm watching it on TV, I can get BTS or get added whatever else the stream team is giving us. I love that stuff. And even if I'm at an event, for example, I think for the New Year's Eve app, for the Times Square Ball app, we had that. That stuff's great. And it just makes the overall experience better. You're growing your engagement. You're growing your audience love for you and what you're doing. And you're making the world a better place.
One live stream at a time.
Right.
This is awesome. You guys have some great questions coming in on social. We really appreciate you guys tuning in. A quick question from YouTube. We've got, how do you guys feel about Teradek Core? We use it a lot.
We love it.
Yeah, I love it for sure. I love the cloud distribution, the being able to see all the metrics and all of the information all at once, and just being able to control that many being able to send out across various platforms all at once from one place, it really makes it easy, and so it's easy to use and super powerful. So, I mean, that's a great tool right there. Easy to use and super powerful. It's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. And that's helpful for anyone watching who doesn't know Teradek Core. Teradek is a company that makes what we were just talking about, the T-Racks. They also make the Bond encoder, which we'll use sometimes for when you need to encode wirelessly when you don't have an internet connection, or when you want to use it for smoothing. You do have a hardline connection, but it's not necessarily super strong. So that is a web-based UI that then you can control and stream out from. They also just launched a new version of Core that we actually just started with different pricing.
Yeah, and it's pretty. It's definitely a reminder that everybody's got to update their graphics and their visuals every once in a while, because now that we're on the new version of Core, the old version of Core seems really old, but the new version looks great. And I'm really just talking about the visuals, but that has a user impact and an experience impact. So I kind of like the new graphics just because they're new and fancy.
Yeah, definitely. Wow, I'm just amazed by the number of questions coming in.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
We just had a question about internet connectivity, which, sorry, I lost your name up here in the comments, but where do you guys place internet connectivity in your,
Oh, they put it as their number one.
yeah.
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 I mean, you
Of
can't
course.
stream without it.
Yeah. That goes
Yeah.
to location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I usually say power and then internet second. But in some cases, yeah, I mean, you need internet. If you have a battery operated unit, we can stream a camera on a backpack and it's just battery operated, but I still need the internet. So, yeah, pretty high. It's definitely in the top two.
And the internet can be difficult to come by in many places. You know, it's like if you're, I don't know, out in the Sahara, you may need to get a satellite link going. You know, it's or if you're in a conference center, you may have to pay 10 grand to just get somebody to drop you a line.
For like 5 megs.
Yeah, yeah, for just a pitiful connection.
Yeah.
And in many cases, like I think you can pull a 10 or a 20 meg line from a satellite truck. You can also revert to a bonded cellular solution, which is often very, very helpful when you're in venues that can only give you a very, very puny connection. Yeah, you guys have anything to add?
You covered that. I
Yeah.
think that's good.
Cool.
Yeah. That's why you're a tech manager. Awesome. Well, let's just go around the room one more time. And I'd love to hear from you guys, and I'll share as well, a secret weapon. So something that you always keep with you, whether it's a piece of knowledge or a piece of gear, something that you wouldn't forget at any job that you're at. I've said mine before, and I'll say it again, and hopefully I'm not taking it from one of you. I always bring a decimator.
Dang it.
I know. I knew I would take it from someone. The MDHX or the MD Cross. I prefer the MDHX, but yeah, decimator. It's a great converter tool, HDMI, SDI, converting signal, converting, scanning, anything like that. Yeah. Nagurka or Mercosi?
All right. Well, I mean, if you're going to go with that, I'm going to go with a rack of 15 Teranexes.
You can't put that in your pocket.
No, really, it's
She could put a decimator in a coat pocket.
no, it's my tool belt, which has a tethered Sharpie that I haven't lost in the last year.
It's
And
true.
my multi-tool.
He has lost
Actually,
many
that's-
Sharpies to us
That's
asking
legit.
for them.
Yep.
That's
So-
legit. And since you took my decimator, Aubrey, this isn't that big of a deal, but it's just kind of funny, but it's also a way, it's indicative of how we think, right? So in my right side pocket, every single time I'm on a show, pretty much every day I have a Sharpie and a pen. Right today I have a Sharpie and a pen. But when I'm on a show, I always take an extra pen and 2 extra Sharpies. The 2 extra Sharpies are for my teammates and for client. So I'm pretty much always at a desk, and someone's like, did someone have a marker? And I'm like, there you go. It's not that big of a secret weapon, but it's nice to be helpful.
And I want everyone at home to know that I did not warn them that they were going to be asked this, and he just had that in his pocket. So yes, he does have it every single day.
Nerd.
Yeah, no, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was such a fun episode. We will be live again next week at 1:00. It's very high possibility this will be our last show of 2018 next week. So please tune in. We'll be in touch later in the week. Look out for us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram talking about what it's going to be about. So you can tune in, ask some questions, be a part of the conversation. We love it when you guys tune in. So thank you so much for watching, and best of luck on your next live production. We'll see you next week, guys.
Bye, guys.
All right.